The Midrashim capture a very dramatic scene at the beginning of this week's Parsha. Aaron HaKohen was centrally involved in the sin of the Egel Hazav, the golden calf. And at the beginning of this week's Parsha, he brings personal korbanos offerings and offerings on behalf of the Jewish people. And one of the primary focal points of the offerings is a sin offering for the golden calf. And the Midrashim discuss Aaron HaKohen's great trepidation in bringing these offerings. Who is he to bring these offerings? How can he represent the Jewish people in asking God for forgiveness? He himself is tainted by the sin. Besides the trepidation with even coming forward to bring the offering, what will be God's reaction? In fact, we're told in the Medrash that after he brought the offering, it's clear in the Psukim, a flame did not come down from heaven after he brought these offerings. The flame would normally be the sign of acceptance of the offering. And he and Moshe together went to pray to Hashem that Hashem should accept the offerings. But in the context of the Medrash, imagine it's not only a fear before he brings the offering. After he's brought the offering, it seems God hasn't accepted it. Ultimately, of course, the flame did come down from heaven. The Sfas Emes connects this moment in Aaron's life with another famous aspect of Aaron's life. But before we go on to the other famous aspect, let's just think about this for 1 second. What word will we use to capture the emotions of Aaron in the moment? I said trepidation, fear. The Sfas Emes uses another term, which is busha, a sense of shame. Fine. Aaron HaKohen had a great sense of shame. It might have been easier to just not go, to just not bring the offerings, but he overcame that sense of shame to do it. Famous Mishnah regarding Aaron HaKohen says he was Oevas Habrios, he loved people, u'mekarvan la Torah, and he brought them close to the service of God, to the Torah. How did he bring them close to the service of God? Variations on it, but the classic approach in the rabbinic literature is Aaron HaKohen acted with so much love towards people, such affection for them, such regard for them, that a person would say to themselves, if the great Aaron HaKohen thinks so highly of me, how can I sin in this way? How can I sin in that way? And they'd be ashamed in front of the great Aaron HaKohen to still live a sinful life, whether or not he could see their sins. And therefore, it was their sense of shame. How could they taint themselves? How could they not live up? How could they have the shame of not living up to the great picture that the wonderful Aaron had of them? So the Sfas Emes makes a connection. He says Aaron HaKohen was able to inspire people to be better by not intentionally shaming them, but in an indirect way, the positive impact of being ashamed allowed Aaron HaKohen to inspire people to improve. And Aaron HaKohen, in his own life, had a moment of terrible shame when he brought the korbanos, but he did it anyway. It says the Sfas Emes, he merited the ability to impact these people in such a significant way, turning shame in a positive sense, in the merit of the fact that he followed through on the offerings despite the feeling of shame. That carries with it such a remarkable lesson that so many times in life we find ourselves in an experience and we say, why do I have to experience this? And sometimes, if we just push forward, our overcoming that challenge is a merit for so much meaning and so much blessing in our lives. Have a wonderful Shabbos.